A sad day is today. Caspian.
Caspian had once left many players from the community to debate his role as a flanker during his release 1 year ago. Caspian has the title of having a bigger learning curve and is often compared to easier characters in his category. Is Caspian's learning curve really as big as some have claimed, or have they just not taken the time to learn and use his kit efficiently? I begin a journey of not only playing as Caspian, but of going from no experience to completely mastering him. And with only 10 hours at my disposal, my goal is to put him through a test to see where Caspian truly stands in the realm of Paladins. And here's how it went down.
Ready to get to work?
As usual, I went into my first match without knowing the character's kit. I chose Caspian and my new voice pack said this to me.
Would the pyre approve that choice?
I already wasn't sure about the first match, and what made it even better was checking out the levels of the enemy team. All of them, high leveled. Then there's me. I was eager and I couldn't wait to see what Caspian's abilities were. I shot my first bullet and I felt so accomplished. Soon after though, my team left me behind and the Maeve swooped in for what I would assume would be an easy kill for her. I wonder if she saw my level. After my first death, I checked out what one of my abilities did, and well, it's this little projectile. I went back into the heat of the battle, but this time using my sword, and as you would expect, I still died. In fact, I died many times, and I felt like I was actually even being toyed with a little bit. After Strix ulted me, I wanted revenge, and so I went to try and ult him back. Well, to my surprise, we lost that game. And then I got faced with reality, which were my stats. I felt like I could do a little bit better than that, so I went to the shooting range to learn Caspian's abilities. First off, Caspian's primary fire is a projectile that slows enemies, and when mixed in between his secondary fire, can speed up the rate of fire on both the gun and sword. These two abilities synergize well together. Caspian's second ability is a projectile that stuns enemies, and the projectile speed is depending on the accuracy of your primary and secondary. His third ability is a dash forward that knocks enemies back and deals damage. You are able to cancel this ability to stop the dash sooner. Finally, his ultimate summons 5 swords that fire off every time you use your primary and secondary. This refills your ammo and pierces through all enemies. Now that I have a better understanding of Caspian's abilities, it's time to make a game plan to lead us towards mastery.
Caspian.
This is the Champion Mastery game, where the goal is to master the champion's abilities. Each ability will give us a set of challenges that we'll need to complete in order to obtain that mastery title. Easy, medium, and hard quests that will give us points in return for completing them. Those points will add up to a crystal meter, and when it's filled all the way, we'll get rewarded with crystals that we'll use to open loot boxes. Now that we have a game plan, let's check out the quest for a secondary fire called War. Win a 1v1 using War, chase down an enemy and finish them off with War, get up close and personal to enemy team, and get a triple kill. With these goals in mind, I went into my next match, which took me to 4 men's rise. I started off like every other match. This time, I wanted to get the higher ground to see what I'm up against. I checked the corner like usual and found a robot hiding, but I couldn't count that as a 1v1 though since Bomb King took that Elam. I saw Anara and I thought this was my time to shine. She went up to the second floor and I thought I would surprise her by showing up on the other side, but it didn't work out. So instead I saw Betty was alone and I went in for the Elam. Later in the match, I was faced with Vora, and thankfully I was able to finish her off by stunning her. Then I noticed that Grover was beside her, so I chased him down and finished him off too. And finally, the last challenge was to get a triple kill, so I went in and took everything I knew about Caspian to complete the quest.
Level complete. Next level.
Next up we have Deadly Momentum. It looks like the quests are chase down an enemy with dash, dash towards enemy to stop them from flanking, and dodge enemy ult with dash. Time's slipping away, so let's jump into a few more matches. Our first stop is Timbermill. As soon as I respawned, I had Shaolin on my mind and a personal vendetta in the making. The moment I laid eyes on him, it was game on, and I charged straight for him for the 1v1. Unfortunately, it cost me my life, but I gotta say, it was worth it. The next challenge takes place in Warder's Gate, and I gotta say, this match felt like it was all over the place. I mean, there were people crashing in our backline, and I swear, once one person ults, everyone wants to ult, because our team ulted, and that led to the enemy team ulting, and there were just way too many things going on at once, and so I just wanted to take a little breather, and then when I came back, I saw something. Did you catch that? Let me slow it down. Ah, it's 7. My good old friend. He's trying to flank our healer, so I had to go help her out. The last challenge took us to Primal Court. I had just respawned and was strolling back when out of nowhere I heard the most terrifying thing. To make things worse, he was heading straight for me. Thankfully, he changed his mind at the last minute, so I headed on to point to see what Rom was doing.
Level complete. Next level.
Now we have Rogue's Tempo. Let's see what the quests are. Combo your stun with another teammate's stun, stop enemy from running away, and finally stop an enemy mid-air with stun. We're halfway to that sweet loot box, so let's keep going. The first challenge takes place at Bright Marsh. Here I was trying to get around the main fight when I heard our Ashe ult. Knowing this was my time to shine, I came in and stunned the enemy Ashe. And I gotta say, I feel kinda bad because our combo stunned the Ashe for close to 3 seconds. But hey, that's why resilience exists, right? The next challenge was to stop an enemy from running away with my stun. Here you'll see Ashe actually died quickly thanks to my stun and our Andro hitting his shots, but this wasn't where I finished the challenge. It was when I noticed that there was a Maldamba hanging around. And now the last challenge was to stun an enemy mid-air. And I've tried this so many times, but I couldn't pull it off, so I had to skip this one.
Next level.
Now it's time for his ult. Let's see what the challenges are. Stop an enemy from running away, eliminate an enemy from afar, and get a triple kill with his ults. These are the last set of challenges, so let's make it a good one. The first challenge takes place at Martyr's Port. Now this match was kind of weird. I don't know if there's been an issue with matchmaking in the game before, and the reason I say that is because most of the match took place at the enemy spawn, and they just couldn't seem to get out. But of course, I love boosting my ego just as much as anyone else, and I love seeing my stats after the game, so I took advantage of it and finished the challenge here. And now we're heading back to Warder's Gate. I was coming back from spawn and saw our Zen was scoping out the place. We grouped up together to attack the enemy's backline, and this is how it went.
Take the night off. Let's play. I love these new gadgets.
Now that I can use.
So let's chat about Caspian for a little bit, because that guy is pretty interesting. You know, if you got the right touch, he can seriously carry your team to victory, because he's all about getting up close and personal, and his kit actually backs that up. Oh, by the way, for most of the 10 hours, I was rolling with either measured cadence, or it's got some heft as his talent, and this is the loadout that I went with. Anyways, Caspian's a flanker, but you can even dive deeper and call him a melee flanker. I know like how Terminus is a melee tank, but here's the thing, as much fun as he is, there are a few hiccups to consider when you're picking him over another flanker. I mean, that dash of his sometimes has a mind of its own, and it'll pull some weird moves like sticking to walls when you're trying to dash away, or maybe just going somewhere completely different from where you had pointed it. I'm guessing there's a tiny cast time on his dash, but hey, don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. At the start of my 10-hour journey with Caspian, I felt pretty darn underpowered and was racking up losses left and right, but as the clock ticked away, I started to get the hang of his style, and my gameplay improved. Here, take a look at this. This was my very first game as Caspian, and my stats were downright embarrassing. But check this out. This is one of my higher stat games towards the end of my 10-hour journey. Now that's what I call some progress, right? Caspian takes time to get cozy with, and if you're patient and stick through the learning curve that he's got, your gameplay is gonna thank you. But of course, just remember, this is my take on things, and your Caspian journey might be totally different. I'm just having fun making these types of videos and playing the game, and that's really just what the deal is here. I'm no Grandmaster after 10 hours of playing, and I'm not trying to claim that title. Anyways, I've got 55 champions left to master, and if you're up for the ride, I think it would be more fun if you tagged along. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.